The fourth card you have your past is the moon. This is always really complicated, this card. So much there. It's all about the internal world, dreams, perceptions of things, imagining things. It can be about depression if it's quite dark, if it's something serious here. You were feeling a bit lost at this time, I think. I think you knew something big was coming up for you. Not right on the horizon, but eventually I think you knew you were heading toward the right thing. It was a little bit like, I'm just getting this feeling of, oh, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm going here. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I just am. It's like I'm led to do this. And I think when you look back on this time, you'll say to yourself, oh, that's why I did this. That's why I said that. That's why I spoke to that person. That's why I watched this video. Could be anything. That's why. That's why. I didn't know why I did, but I did that. And it's led me to this point. So I think you know that these end goals are there. They're coming up eventually. And you're leading, or you're being led to that. That's what I'm seeing. Follow your instincts, definitely. They're going to lead you to these goals. There's one specific goal I'm seeing here. You've wanted to do this one thing since you're a child. You have wanted to do this. You are heading toward that. Even in terms of geographically, you're close to that area, or you are going to be soon. You're heading toward that. So if something comes up ahead of you where you have to make a move, or you have to do something, or you have to travel to somewhere, even if it's just for a day, do that thing. Follow your instincts, do all these things. They're all leading you to something that you've wanted to do since you're quite young. That's what I'm seeing there. You might not realize that now. You might think, oh, I don't know what that's all about. But think about, if you've ever done something, or quite recently, if you did something, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm going here. I don't know why I'm talking to this person. That's why. That's why. Just know that. The other thing is, I'm seeing here is something was hidden. And I don't think it's a great big lie or anything terrible like that. I think someone was a little bit embarrassed. I don't think they're around you physically, but I think they were talking to you sometimes, not even all the time. You might have been hearing from them through someone else. I'm getting that as well. There's a little bit of money around this. There's a bit of suspicion around this. I think not suspicion as in they've done something wrong, but suspicion as in something's not quite right and I don't know what it is. I just suspect something doesn't feel right. And it's around this person. They're very, very close to you in terms of they're either a family member, I think, or they're a friend that feels close to a family member. Someone who's very close to you. It doesn't mean physically close. It means that they're close. You feel close to them. You have that closeness with them, that bond with them. And whatever this thing is that they're not telling you, even though you suspect something's not quite right, it's going to come out. It's absolutely going to come out. Now, when this comes out, it's not going to be this big, terrible thing. It is going to be a little bit surprising. I think you already know a little bit about this. So it's going to be a continuation of what you already know about. Now, it might have something to do... I keep on seeing money around this. I keep on seeing money. I don't think they're going to ask you for money, but there is money around this and you might have to advise them. You might even you might help them in some way, or you might eventually pay them to do something for a service or something. Some kind of agreement might happen between you. And they look up to you as well. They look up to you. They might not tell you that, but they do. And that's why they're hesitant as well. There's this embarrassment around them. They're afraid to tell you this thing. And you know some of it, but you don't know all of it. That's what I'm seeing. It's going to come out and you're going to find out what that is. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the next card you have your past is the King of Pentacles, which I love. I love this card. So, well, sometimes I love this card. Sometimes he looks a bit kind of as if he can't move. He's got these vine leaves and he can't move. So sometimes to me it can look a bit like being trapped. I'm not seeing that here though. I'm just seeing a guy with a lot of money, which is what he is. And I think this is how this person in the moon card, this is how they see you. I'm not saying you're some great big business millionaire or anything like that. Well, I hope you are. But yeah, they see you as someone who has their life together, like this king. They have everything together, financially, other areas as well. So that's how they see you, someone who kind of has it all together. And what I'm seeing here is, if this is a family member, it might be someone who's very close to you in age as well. Because what I'm seeing is, years ago when you kind of were younger, this is a big turnaround from the way things used to be. That's what I'm seeing. They were seen as the one who was going to do really well later on in life, and you weren't. That's what I'm getting. And so there are a lot of comparisons that went on at that time, and there are comparisons now, and I think they're a little bit ashamed of the way things have turned out for them, because you've turned out kind of in a much more comfortable way financially, and in other ways as well, much more sure of yourself than they are. Now, I'm not saying life's terrible for them and they're silly and you're fantastic. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's very different to what was expected. That's what I'm getting. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. Again, they're not going to ask you for a loan. I'm not seeing that. I think when this does come out, though, and it is, and they're going to talk to you, just be very careful around them. Be very gentle with them. They're very embarrassed, and they've made some really bad decisions. They've made some really big mistakes, and they know that. They're trying to fix that, and they're very embarrassed. So just don't make it worse for them, because they're not, I know you probably won't mean to, but they're not, they've learned from what they're doing. They know they've made a mistake. They're trying to get out of it, and kind of saying more things to them isn't going to do anything. So, and also they're very aware of your position and their position, and they're very embarrassed about that as well. That's what I'm getting. I don't know if any of that makes sense. That's what I'm seeing. Anyway, so the last card you have your past is the Knight of Wands. Yeah, this is interesting, because I think out of the two of you, I'm getting this person again, this relative. I think it's a relative. It might be a sibling, might be a cousin, because you're quite close in age, I think. If someone looked at the two of you right now, and they just took a snapshot of you, I think they'd probably look like the more stable one, because on the outside they're very calm in nature, and you're not like that. You're kind of the opposite. So but what's going on in the inside is the opposite to what's going on the outside. So you might not look calm. You might look like, oh no, this is happening, and oh, little things happen, you get angry and upset and all this, which is like a typical Aries. And they're kind of quite calm on the outside. But what's happening on the inside of them is they're all kind of up and down, and you're a lot more content than they are on the inside. That's what I'm getting now. I know this is so, I can't even think of the word. You know what I mean. Anyway, very specific, that's what I'm trying to say. But this is what I'm seeing. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is, it's kind of tying in with what I was seeing in the Moon card. There's something you've done. It's on a whim, I think. And I think you might have said, I'm going to do this. Let's just have a go and see what happens. And it's kind of like, it feels like a job to me, but it might not be that. It's something you said, okay, let's just see if this works. I'll do this, and I'll apply for this, or I'll say yes to this, and I'll whatever. And I'm not going to try too hard. This is kind of what you're thinking, because, I don't want to put all my hopes into this. I don't want to disappoint myself. Now, if that makes any sense to you, I think there's a good chance of this actually happening, and you get this, or someone says yes, or they make you an offer, or something like that. Just be careful not to self-sabotage. Don't make yourself unavailable. Make sure you're around your phone, keep on top of emails, check your spam, all that kind of thing. And don't sell yourself short. Don't underplay yourself. I think you do have a tendency to do that sometimes, so be careful around that. A lot of Aries don't seem like that. They seem really big and bold and showing off. No, you don't do that. You do underplay yourself quite a lot. Don't do that this time. Sometimes that comes from self-preservation. It's like, oh, well, maybe I'll mess it up and then it'll go wrong and I can say, oh, well, I was rubbish anyway. No, don't do that with this. Now, this might not be resonating with you, because the feeling I'm getting is you put your name on this thing, or you applied for this thing, or you said yes to this thing, or you whatever happened, And since that time, a lot's happened. You've got a lot on your mind right now. So you're a million miles away from this thing that you applied for or did. And you might have forgotten totally about this. Totally forgotten about this whole thing. And then it might come up for you and you'll be totally surprised. Oh, I forgot all about that. That's what I'm seeing. So your mind's not on this. So if this doesn't resonate with you, you might have forgotten about this thing. This might make you remember it again. So yeah, and just remember, if someone does contact you about this, which I'm seeing that they probably will, don't put yourself down. They're doing that because they want you. They're doing that because they're interested in you. They know you can do this. So again, don't sell yourself short. That's what I'm getting in that card. So the first card you have your presence, the 8 of Wands. Yeah, look at this. This is this contact. This is communication around this thing. And I think you're probably going to have a few talks with whoever this is around this thing. I keep on seeing some kind of work thing, but it's a little bit unusual. It's some kind of work thing. It's like when this is offered to you, it's going to be right in front of you and you can just reach out and take this. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, it's just there. I've always wanted this. This is kind of a stepping stone to where I've always wanted to be, and I just have to reach out and touch it. That's how it's going to feel. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of talks. This is action, communication, and you know, I'm getting this, oh, I'm going to try for this, then I'm going to put it out of my mind and forget this, but then when you least expect it, it's going to start. Like this talk and this contact's going to start. I'm seeing that again in this card. Don't turn your back on this. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't walk away from this. I think this is going to lead to something even bigger than this eventually. Put your hand out, take this thing. That's what I'm seeing. And yeah, they want you for you. That's the other thing I'm seeing in this. They want you for you. You might think, oh, I'm so different, I'm so weird, I'm so whatever. All Aries think like that. They think, I'm not like everyone else. You know, no, you're not. And that's why they want you. That's what I'm seeing in that card. The other thing I'm seeing here is I'm seeing lots and lots of communication around you. There's some communication coming from someone. Okay, I'm seeing a few different things here. Firstly, I'm seeing this communication that you had the wrong idea about. So there's some communication that came in. You thought it was from a specific person. It wasn't from that person. That's what I'm seeing. Now, there is this person here. They want to come back and talk to you. There's a lot of peace. There's a very peaceful feeling around this. So this person doesn't want to harm you. They just want to talk to you. I think eventually you will come and talk to them. I'm not sure what kind of talking this is. You might tell them to go and do something, which is what Aries does. I hope you don't, because I am getting a friendly, a kind of a very friendly, very peaceful feeling around this. And I don't think you're going to be best friends with this person in the whole world. You're not going to be like, oh, they're my best friend. There is going to be a place of peace between you. It might be some kind of closure, I don't know, but it's something like that. It's this peaceful place. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to ask them, you know, was that you? Was that you that sent me that? Was that you that said that? And they'll say no. And I think you'll get evidence of that too, and you'll come to understand it hasn't come from that person. This is all very, very specific today. I'm really sorry. That's just what I'm seeing. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing in this card. This is going to be a bit confusing. Well, what isn't? Everything in this reading is confusing, but I'll try and explain this. Hopefully it'll make sense. I'm just looking at this man. He's looking at this bush. He's quite successful. Obviously, there are all these coins here. He's quite impatient though. And what I'm getting is, because this is Pentacles, I'm getting the way that you go about your work, and that you might have to revisit the way that you see yourself and the way that you work. I hope this is going to make sense. So it's like, I'm seeing this kind of on and off switch. It's like you're either on or you're off. You're kind of rushing ahead, full blast, going along, putting every bit of energy into everything. You're going ahead, going ahead, going ahead. And then of course you can't keep that up. So you become really exhausted. And then you're like, oh, I've got to have a break. I'm so tired, but I can't do that. I have to keep going. I have to keep going. When you need to have a break, take a break. take a full break and then come back again, full blast again. Because I think that's what your working energy is like. That's what your working personality is like, if that makes sense. You can't, some people can go along and they can pace themselves. They can go, okay, I'll just do a little bit here, then I'll just go slowly on this, and I'm not going to stress about this, and then I'm going to pace myself. You can't work like that. You're on or off. That's what I'm getting here. So work with that. Don't work against that, because I've got this feeling that you're working against yourself, and you might even be angry with yourself. It's like, why do I need a break? I'm so lazy. I have to keep going. You're not lazy at all. You're not at all. You just need to work with yourself. You need to work with yourself and not against yourself. That's what I'm getting. And once you realize this, even if you take little breaks, I know it's hard when you work for someone. You can't just take breaks all the time that you need to. But even if you just do little ones, I think if you work with yourself and say, okay, I'm on, now I'm off, now I'm on, now I'm off. If you work like that, I think you'll actually get more done in the end, because you won't be as stressed, you won't be as angry with yourself. You'll be a lot more at peace with yourself. So if that makes sense with you, I know it won't with everyone, but if it does, just have a think about that and try and work with yourself. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the Ace of Wands. I love this for you. Okay, so yeah, there's some people who are attracted to you. There are quite a few. I'm seeing 3 specific people. Okay, they're all attracted to you. Now, I think with the first one, I think the first person I'm seeing here, they try to contact you quite a lot. You're just not interested. And I think the more they contact you, the less interested you are, because it's just like, oh, again, you know, I've said to them, I've made it clear that I'm not really interested, but they keep on doing it. And they don't realize that the more forceful they are, the less interested I am. So that's the first person. And I think you're just going to have to keep on doing what you're doing with this person. I think you're making it quite clear to them. It sounds cruel, but it's better that they know that than if you don't, than if you're, you know, if you're ambiguous about this, they're not going to be clear, and they're going to keep on kind of going after you, and it's not good for them. They need to close the lid on this box and go after another one. So I think you're doing the right thing there. There are 2 other people. Now, I think they're both from your past. With one of these people, it feels very, very, very heavy. I think it feels very weighed down. There are too many problems. It's very deep, very heavy. A lot happened between you, even since you separated from this person. I'm not getting a good feeling around this. And they're probably here because they are going to try and contact you, or there's going to be some kind of meeting or contact between you. And I'm not getting a good feeling around that one, I have to say. The third one, it feels a lot lighter. I think you did have some problems. Again, there's this big misunderstanding here. Now, this might be the same person that I'm seeing in the 8 of Wands, because I was seeing this kind of message, this misunderstanding, and you thought it was this person, but it's not this person. You are going to have some kind of conversation with this third person. It's going to be some kind of closure, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a friendship, whether that's just, okay, let's just come to a truce. Let's just call it a truce, and we'll kind of end on a nicer note than we have. It might be that. So just get ready for all of those. The first one's already contacting you, I think. The second 2 are going to at some time in the future. So just be aware of those 2. And the third one, again, I'm seeing this again. There was a misunderstanding in communication with them. So, but you're going to clear that up, I think. All right, so the first card you have your futures, the Emperor. Yeah, again, here's this thing again, the same. I'm seeing this third person again in this card. They're probably the most important one to you. It has the most potential. It doesn't mean that it has potential to be a love. It might be, but it has potential for something happening at some time. And yeah, it feels very, very peaceful. It feels very peaceful. But because we have the Emperor here, I think you're quite angry with this person at one time. And I think it was about this communication that you thought was coming from them. You're quite angry, you're quite forceful like this Emperor. You're saying, never again, I'm not talking to them ever again. I'm so angry. How could they do this? I'm really angry. But then once you find out that it's not them, things become a lot more peaceful between you. So there's definitely going to be some communication between you. I'm seeing that again here. I don't know which way it's going to go, but it does feel very, very peaceful to me. That's all I can really say about that. I wish I could say more. You're very preoccupied right now anyway, and I think you are going to be very preoccupied when they contact you again. Your mind's going to be on so many things. I'm seeing you very scattered in your mind, and you're trying to get lots of things done. And you're trying to be very rigid and regimented with everything like this Emperor, but a lot of other things are happening. So your mind's certainly not on them. It's on a lot of other things that you're doing right now. But yeah, you are going to get communication with them. Okay, so the next card you have, your Future's Justice. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of learning here. I think this might be about this relative or this person I was seeing, whoever this was in the Moon card, someone who's very close to you. They're learning from their mistakes. That's what I'm seeing in this card. They are learning from their mistakes. Sometimes this can be about karma. To me, sometimes karma means, okay, I've suffered over my mistakes already. Now I'm starting to learn from them. And that's what they're doing. So again, I think they're a little bit of a laid back person, because you're coming across as the Knight of Wands. And so it might look like they're not actually learning from what's happened. They're not doing anything, but they are. It just doesn't look like that. So don't be frustrated with them if you see them kind of looking as if they're kind of lying down with their feet up, snoring. They're not doing that. They are actually doing something, not literally, but do you know what I mean? If it looks as if, oh, they're not really doing anything, where's the evidence? They are. They are doing that. They just look very calm. They just look very... It's a little bit like, you know, the old thing when you see a swan and it looks as if it's gliding along, but underneath its legs are going really quickly, paddling. That's what they're going to be like. And I think, yeah, it's going to take a long time for them to be able to untangle themselves from a lot of problems. They got themselves into a big tangled web. That's what I'm seeing, a big, big, big tangled web. I think they got into one problem, and then to try and get out of that problem, they put themselves into another problem, and then it became double. That's what I'm seeing with these two pillars here, one and then the other. But they're getting themselves out of this. I think you have been a little bit worried that, oh, I'm going to be asked to help them out financially or something, or do this or that. How am I going to... It's not that you're not generous. It's just like, oh, what am I going to do about this? It's just another kind of stress that you had. I don't think you're going to have to do that now. I think they're going to be able to do this themselves. And it's a big relief. I'm getting a lot of relief around here. Sorry, around this card. And yeah, things are going to get back into balance for them and for you as well. So that's what I'm seeing. It's taking time though. It's taking time. Okay, so the last card you have, your Future's the Three of Wands. Okay, so again, this is about this thing that you either applied for, you did something for, you told someone you wanted to do this, they got your details or something. Something happened that you did, and might be a job, because I keep on seeing work around this, might be a project, might be collaborating with someone, it might be, it's something work related that you said, oh yes, I'll do that. And then you've totally forgot about it. Again, I'm seeing you're very, very preoccupied. You've got a lot on your mind. So this thing's way out of your mind, far away, like these three ships, far away from this man. I'll just hold it up. Far away, but they're coming in. And so you might not be able to see them coming in because you're so preoccupied. Because what I'm getting is someone will call you or contact you about this thing, and you'll say, oh, I totally forgot about that. I forgot about that. I'm not ready. What am I going to do? I'm not prepared. The fact that you're not going to be prepared, I think, is going to be a really good thing, because I think sometimes you do overthink things, you over worry, you over prepare, you worry about all these little details. You won't have time to do that. It's going to be, right, I want to see you tomorrow. When can you come down? When can you see me? When can we talk? Something like that. And you're going to have to say, oh, okay, right now, as soon as I can. And you're going, oh, I'm not ready. they're just going to talk to you. I think they're going to be very happy with you, and they're going to want to say yes to you. Now, you might think, I don't deserve this. You know, this is something, you do deserve this, and you've been working toward this for a long, long time, and you just don't realize that's what you've been doing. Because if you look at this man again, he's up on this big hill, he's looking at these ships, and they're coming in for him. How did he get up there? I mean, in these days of the Renaissance, when these cards were kind of modelled after, they weren't drawn at that time, but they were modelled after that. If you look at the costumes and the things people are wearing. Of course, at that time, they didn't have a car or anything like that. They couldn't get up the top of the mountain like that. They had to walk up or climb up. And he climbed his way up there, and that's why he's there. So just remember that you have worked really hard, and you do deserve this when it comes to you, and it is absolutely coming to you. And you're going to be unaware of this when it comes. Even when I'm telling you this, you're just going to be, I don't know what that's about. I've forgotten about that. But when you get this call or this text or whatever it is, email, whatever it is, you'll say, oh, that's that thing. I remember that. Yes, and it's come back to me. So just remember that. It's coming up in the next, I don't know, maybe in the next few months or something. But you'll be very busy and preoccupied in your head, just like you are now, I think.